We've got some breaking Jacksonville Jaguars news to talk about here on a Friday. Welcome into Jags Now, presented by Chat Sports. I am your host, Cullen Brown, and if you somehow missed the news, Travon Walker and the Jacksonville Jaguars have agreed to a massive 4-year contract extension. We're going to be breaking it down. We're going to be talking about what this deal means, what my thoughts and opinions are on the actual contract extension, and on the back half, maybe talk about some more contract extensible players that the Jaguars could extend also after this Travon Walker deal. But guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for the best Jaguars content on YouTube. We're trying to grow this community here at Chat Sports. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers. Your guys' support has been unbelievable so far. If you guys could, hit that sub button and feel free to give us a like if you enjoyed today's content. Okay, so just to go over the actual contract details. Per Ian Rappaport, who was first on the news, he was the first one that tweeted this out. Travon Walker agrees to a 4-year, $110 million deal, $77 million in total guarantees, so total guarantees throughout the contract, and $50 million in guaranteed money at signing. Massive deal. This has him in the top 15 when it comes to edge rushers in the National Football League. It's just under, ironically, what they're paying Josh Hines-Allen at $28.5 million per year. Obviously, he's a former number 1 overall pick back in 2022, who had his 5th-year option picked up this past offseason by James Gladstone at $15.1 million. So, quick math, he's now on essentially a contract of 5 years, $125-ish million. Massive deal for Travon Walker, who, I'll be completely honest, the amount that this money came in at, it surprised me a little bit. We all know the kind of year that Travon Walker had. It's kind of injury-filled. They were asking him to play multiple different positions. You know, had only about 3.5 sacks last year. Did have 42 pressures, 8 tackles for loss. But just was something that I thought that whenever they were going to negotiate this contract with Travon Walker, I thought that a more comparable deal would be the George Karlaftis deal, with him getting 4 years at $88 million, so around $22 million. So the fact that Travon now is getting $27.5 million, that is a lot of change for a guy coming off a down season. They are clearly banking on his pass rush productivity from 23 and 24 and not really looking at 2025. Clearly, when Gladstone came in and, accepted his, agreed to pick up the 5th-year option on Travon Walker, he was in their plans. And a lot of people were sitting there wondering, how much would they sit there and pay the former number 1 overall pick? Now you have, with Josh Hines-Allen making $28.5 million per year, along now with $27.5 million per year for Travon Walker, I mean, you are accounting damn near $60 million to your top 2 edge rushers here in Jacksonville. And it's roughly about, 57 million dollars in that range to your top 2 edge rushers. And my initial reaction is, this is a very steep price to pay for Travon Walker. I understand the value that he set as a stout run defender. I thought he, again, was a really big team player and, potentially trying to kick inside a little bit more and trying to create interior pressure that the Jaguars were looking to get more of throughout the season. But clearly Anthony Campanelli, Liam Cohen, this entire coaching staff, they value what Travon Walker is. And I don't disagree with the fact that they extended him. But this is a huge amount of money for a guy that's had 27.5 career sacks across 4 seasons. And now he's getting $27.5 million per year. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. He's a really good player. And, whenever I kind of sat there and I was talking yesterday, we talked about some of the contract extension eligible Jaguars. One name that I mentioned that we kind of already briefly touched on was George Karlaftis. This deal was damn near what the Jalen Phillips deal was for the Carolina Panthers, who signed him in free agency. Jalen Phillips came in at about 4 years, $120 million, $80 million in total guaranteed money, $60 million guaranteed at signing. Wow. I mean, that is you're paying Travon Walker basically, you are paying him as if he can be a number 1 pass rusher in the National Football League. And I hope that he can return to that 2023, 2024 form where he was looking like he was one of the, up-and-coming edge rushers in the National Football League. We know he has that ability in him. Clearly, Gladstone and company feel like he can get to that. But, man, that is a huge commitment to make to Travon Walker. And, look, full hands up, I did not think he would be getting this much. Jacksonville extends him. It's just unbelievable, the contract that he's getting. And credit to, Walker for getting that. He is somebody that is clearly in their plans for the future. And I'm not saying, like, he's a bad player, but that's a lot of money for Travon Walker. $27.5 million. So, clearly, he is a cornerstone piece that they're looking to build around with him and Josh Hines-Allen. We've talked about it ad nauseum. I think the Jaguars do need to add some more depth at that edge rusher position. You've got Josh Hines-Allen. You've got Travon Walker now both locked in. Danny Strigo was a nice addition, although I think you can look to potentially get better at that edge 3 spot and just overall increase your depth there if you're Jacksonville heading into 2026. And I think Jacksonville's kind of strategy this offseason was really, for the most part, to keep things as similar as they can be. They knew where they were going to most likely lose a Devin Lloyd. They knew they were going to most likely lose a Travis Etienne in free agency, but they were willing to keep guys in-house, and Travon Walker was clearly the first guy that they wanted to prioritize extending. They get it done at 4 years, $110 million. And I think that right now this contract is something that we're going to be, discussing in the future years, whether it was worth or whether it was not. I hope Travon Walker, because he has the ability to live up to this contract. Clearly, Gladstone and company believe in him. We'll see how it all kind of works out. In terms of this contract, I want you guys to give it a grade down below in the comment section. A, B, C, D, or F. Again, it's a 4-year, $110 million contract extension with $77 million in total guarantees, $50 million guaranteed at signing. Grade the Travon Walker extension A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know down below in the comments section. Just to kind of talk about some of the other possible contract extension candidates that we mentioned on yesterday's show, but we just wanted to highlight here. Again, Parker Washington seems like a very popular name that Jaguars fans want to see get extended. What does his contract look like? He's coming off a year where it was the best year of his young career, the former 6th-round pick out of Penn State. What does he potentially get? I mean, Rashid Shaheed signed a 3-year, $51 million contract in free agency. Could Parker Washington look to top that? $17 million per range. Does he look to try to get 18 or 19? Clearly, Gladstone company are willing to pay. Does, re-signing Parker Washington, what does that look like? And then you've got a guy in Brenton Strange who, again, is a really productive tight end. I think has earned a lot of trust in the system and earned the trust of Trevor Lawrence and this offensive staff. I will look at those two guys as potential next in line in terms of getting contract extensions. Does a Brenton Strange get somewhere in that $12 to $13, $14 million range based on, his previous performances? We'll wait and see what he kind of comes in at. But, wow, Travon Walker, unbelievable. You've also got Anton Harrison and possibly Devon Hamilton. I look at as kind of extensions that I think the Jaguars will look to potentially look at extending, or 2 players, I should say, look at extending during this NFL offseason. But man, oh man, huge news coming out of Duval County in this one. Give me y'all's one-word reaction down below in the comment section to this massive Travon Walker extension for the Jacksonville Jaguars. If I had to give one, I'm stunned. Honestly, to be honest, just filming this video, $27.5 million per year. He's a hardworking guy. He is well-liked in the community. He's well-liked in the locker room. But, man, coming off a down season, I didn't know how much of a contract he'd be willing to get. Gladstone and company said, we are going to reward you. We believe in you. And he is now extended for the foreseeable future. So, if you guys have any other thoughts, let me know down below in the comment section. And, again, massive news coming out of Jacksonville as Travon Walker has been extended. Guys, we've got you covered here at Jags Now with the latest Jags news and rumors. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your way out. And until next time, guys, we'll see you on the next one.